You know, guys, I think at this point I'm all vlogged out. I have a few hours before the flight, so I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna go to the park, hang out for a little bit, and like not talk to the camera for a few hours like a normal person, you know? I think that's what I'll do. I'll see you back in New York.
It's so strange, but I guess I'm coming home again. Nothing's changed, and I'll never be alone again. It's insane how I never felt like I was gone. I get down and I turn the television on. I count the road signs I don't wanna pass. Then I start drinking and I act like an ass. I need some space, won't you leave me alone? I guess there's no place like not being home. I guess there's no place like not being home. I guess there's no place like.
JetBlue welcomes you to John F. Kennedy, New York. The local time is approximately 8:30 p.m.
Welcome back to New York today. You know, I started to miss New York. Not that there's anything wrong with Chicago. Just something really cool happened on the way to New York that I want to quickly tell you about. As I was walking through the airport, I met a gentleman named Shamir. He saw one of these videos and he said, "Hey, love the vlog," so we started talking. And it turned out that he's got a few hours before his flight, and I had a few hours before mine. And we had a really good conversation about relativity. Now, why was it a really good conversation? Let me explain. So, whenever you talk to folks about software, right, any kind of large company, not specific to relativity, anything else. Let's say you speak to a salesperson and they tell you about their software, how it works, and they give you answers, and then maybe you wind up talking to somebody else later, and they give you 99% same story, but then there's something slightly off, and you start asking further questions, probing deep into it, and they either don't know what they refer to somebody else, and somebody else gives you tiny bit off story again, you know, so it always feels like the people you're talking to, you know, they don't really know themselves. What they have is somebody gave them information and they simply repeating it to you, and everyone gets it maybe a little bit different. So what was different in talking to Shamir about it was that he actually knew the product. He knew it inside out, and we had this really great conversation where I probably asked too many questions, but we went in depth about relativity, Relativity 1 specifically, how it scales, how it works, and that conversation was just amazing. It just totally made my day. I'm really happy that he flagged me down at the airport and we got to talk about things. Now, Shamir wasn't the only person who I had such a good conversation with. The other person was Yvonne from imaging and productions team. Again, it was a person who knew his product in depth. He knew exactly what he was talking about, who was able to answer questions, answer follow-up questions, and it was just a pleasure to speak to him. So Shamir and Yvonne, thank you very much for letting me get all technical on you and answering all my 10 million questions that I asked you. All right, I gotta get some breakfast and get in the office because I think I'm already late. Also, we're in Bryant Park, and every season, or at least twice a year, they tear it all apart and rebuild into something else. So they spend all this time putting this lawn and maintaining it, and now what they're doing is they're cutting it up, and I'm guessing they're gonna put an ice skating rink back up here again. Crazy amount of work goes into it, but it's actually really nice. If you have not been here before, Welcome to vdiscovery office. Seems like we're always under construction here. All right, let's see if Michael's got some more thoughts on Relativity 1. Michael, I'm closing out this video. Do you have anything else to add?
I'm back.
See
I'm
so we
tired
can see your-
from a hectic 4-day trip to Chicago for Relativity Fest. Look, it was good, I guess, on the whole. Some of the things I really didn't like, but in debriefing myself and Nick, there were some good things. I'm impressed with the new functionality, how it handles text messages now. More to see on that, but at first blush, it seems like it'd be good. Something our clients have been asking for, more functionality and how clients could review text messages in a better format and hopefully produce them in a better format. That's yet to be seen. Nick and I and the rest of the team are going to be debriefing after this to get some more information on that. But on the whole, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts now and figure out our next steps with regards to, how we're going to survive in this hectic world of e-discovery.
All right, thank you, Michael. We're gonna get ready for our debriefing meeting. Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Oh, I was not. Oh, thanks, Nick.
Oh. That's the window situation here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video called "This Construction is Destroying Our Office." Go check it out. You'll know what's going on over here. It's a continuous construction here. And there's one more person that I'm sure you all wanted to see that has been absent from my recent videos. Melissa! Hey! How are you?
Good to see you.
I missed you.
Good to see you, vlog.
I missed you. Hi, vlog. I don't
Hey,
know if I'm not even sure if I'm pointing at the right place. All right. You want to help me close out my video?
I'd love to.
All right. Let's find a place where we can sit down.
Okay.
All right. We found a cozy spot in the park. It may be a little noisy, but what I think everyone wants to know is how come you were not in the vlog? I know everyone missed you.
I missed everyone too. I've actually transitioned to a new company. I'm not working in legal tech anymore. I'm in fashion now, but my heart will always be in litigation support.
Thank you. That's I know it's not true, but thank you for saying it anyway.
So, any last thoughts from Relativity Fest?
I enjoyed it very much. It was a great, very well put together event. I did have a couple of things that I missed. And one thing I missed are closing remarks by Andrew. I think the last couple of years, they were much more in-depth, they were much longer. He would talk about how parties were, what people tweeted about.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that, and it wasn't there this year, so that's one thing I missed. The only other thing to add is changes to a partner program, which I'm sure you heard Michael speak about, right? So it is a little difficult for a company of our size, but Relativity folks already reached out to us and they offered an ideas how we can make this transition happen. So I'm sure we'll work it out somehow.
That sounds great. Any interesting sessions this year?
As far as sessions, I did sit through a few that were notable. One was on blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain, all that deal. And what was interesting about people came into those sessions looking for answers. Instead, the session was about introducing a topic. They were talking about, hey, we have this blockchain technology, this is what it is, these are the private keys, public keys, etc. Something to look out for when you collect data, when you collect computers, and so on. And what people wanted to know right away, okay, so how do I handle it? What do I do? And in that session, there were no answers to that at all. Which is expected because the technology is so new and the session was geared towards introducing the topic.
Gotcha.
just to get people to start thinking about, as opposed to trying to provide answers.
That makes sense.
The other couple of sessions that I enjoyed very much are the hands-on labs,
Okay.
and there were specifically development sessions where we actually got to use Visual Studio and we got to write code, upload it to Relativity. I feel like those are very helpful, and I would love to take those again next year, well, on a different subject, of course. And finally, what I enjoyed the most, well, I can't say I enjoyed the most, but it was very interesting, is the morning run.
Yes,
I know it
love
was
that
a-
part of the vlog.
Yep, it was a last minute idea, and so many people agreed to do it. The lobby was full of people, the view was beautiful, weather was perfect. That was great. It was a great way to start a day. All right, finally, I just want to say thank you to everyone for organizing this event. Thank you to developer team, Mike and Drew, for giving me such warm welcomes, giving me cool merch, and giving me a special button for my badge. Now, Mike, I'm sorry, no one asked about it, okay? So next time, I think you're gonna have to make it like a bigger size of a dinner plate and maybe in Relativity color. I'm sure it'll attract attention then. I met lots of people. People came up to me saying, I saw your video, thank you, it was entertaining. I enjoyed meeting every one of you. Thank you for all the compliments. I'm very grateful that you enjoyed my videos and you watching them. And I do want to apologize that if I see you again and I forget your name, I'm sorry. I am really
bad with names.
I am really bad with names.
Very bad with
If I
names.
say nice to meet you and we're already met, I'm sorry. My fault.
Not okay.
All right. All right. I think we're done here. Thank you,
Okay.
vdiscovery, for sending me out to Relativity Fest, and thank you, Relativity, for putting together such an awesome event. See you next year.
Bye, vloggers, vloggies, vlog viewers. Bye.
Bye.
Well, I guess there's no place like not being old.